Good morning and welcome to Member Focus Monday. I'm Christina Schaefer, Director of Social Media for HAR. March is Women's History Month, and here today to discuss WCR is Cindy Yoakum. What WCR, if you don't know, is the Women's Council of Realtors. So she's going to discuss how they advance the successes of women in real estate with us today. But before we have Cindy introduce herself and get into the interview, we should mention that this week's Member Focus Monday and this week's HAR On the Move podcast are sponsored by Tom Ferry Edge. Tom Ferry Edge is taking place in Houston, March 13th through 15th. You can visit their website to learn more about this sales and marketing seminar. Thank you to Tom Ferry Edge for sponsoring this week. With that, Cindy, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm excited to have you here today.
Thank you, Christina. I'm so happy and excited to be here with you as well.
Absolutely. And you have some fans tuning in already. I see a yay, Cindy, we love you. So we're very excited to have you here today and talk about your role with WCR and also just what WCR does for women in real estate. But before we talk about WCR, let's hear a little bit about you. If you could share with us who you are and what you do.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. I'm a proud Texas realtor. I'm brokered by J. Parr, the Sears Group. I am honored to be a 2022 TRLP graduate. I am so grateful to HAR and Texas Realtors for such honors and opportunity to complete the Texas Leadership Program in 2022. We are a class of 35. We stayed true to our core values. We grew together in 8 incredible sessions, and we made it to graduation together. Our legacy project event was a huge success. It was baseball, bags, and bingo. It was so much fun. We had great feedback. Together, the class raised $87,250 for Cy Hope Decker's Champs. So we are so grateful to HAR and to all of our sponsors who supported us in this project for the children of Cy Hope.
Thank you. And I'm glad you mentioned TRLP, the Texas Realtors Leadership Program, as if anybody saw the countdown timer before the program started, they are currently accepting applications. So if you want to learn more about that, we can share that link in the comments.
This year, I'm serving on several committees with HAR, a Professional Development Advisory Group, TreePack Advisory Group, Fort Bend PAAL, and then I am in Diverse Inclusive Subcommittee. So I'm excited and looking forward to that. And this year I'm serving, I joined Women's Council in 2016. I was president for 2019-2020 for the local network for Greater West Houston. 2021-2022 I served the state as district vice president. And I currently serve at the leadership team this year for 2023 as their state first vice president. So I'm excited this year.
Absolutely. And we're so lucky to have a local member serving on that state board for WCR. And again, that's why we brought you here today, because we wanted to hear from you at the state level. We're going to talk about, there's many chapters around the Houston area that you'll mention. But at the state level, I think it's wonderful that we have representation. So let's talk a little bit about WCR. How and why was WCR founded?
Okay, a little history. In 1924, the California Real Estate Association formed a women's division. After members found it, the idea on a train ride home from a National Association convention in Washington, D.C. 14 years later, Josephine Catherine, the 1938 president of the National Association of Realtors, encouraged the formation of the Women's Council after being impressed by the California group. NAR was 30 years old at that time, and because of the local boards still resistant to women, the NA was ready to recognize women in real estate, and a positive vote resulted in the formation of Women's Division at the annual convention held in Milwaukee in November of 1938. Wow. So that's when Women's Council was created, and 37 ambitious women represented 9 states at that meeting, and WCR's inception was then.
Wow. And how many women are a part of WCR? People, I should say, because it's not just women a part of WCR, but how many people are now a part of WCR?
Just in tech, I was looking up the numbers yesterday, and I honestly did not write down the total national numbers in Texas. We're about 2,500
That's wonderful.
in Texas. So we have 22 networks here in Texas, and they're all over. We have more coming.
Very good. So, what are
Yeah.
some of the main goals of the Women's Council of Realtors?
Our mission statement: we are a network of successful realtors advancing women as business leaders in the industry and in the communities we serve. That is our mission statement. The council's vision and long-term goals: the Women's Council of Realtors is recognized as a voice for women in the real estate industry, and we are the premier source for the development of leaders in the industry, organized real estate, and beyond. Just to let you know a little bit, we have core values, and our core values are professional credibility, the power of collaboration, leadership, influence, and opportunity.
Very good. So we have a few people coming in the comments, and actually Adriana said we were at about 13,000 members nationwide. So from, I think you said 37 to 13,000, it has definitely grows. Yes, very
Absolutely.
good.
No, that's not on the website.
Very good. And we have a lot of people, WCR members, tuned in this morning talking about their different organizations around Houston. So we're excited to talk about that in a little bit. As you mentioned, or as we mentioned at the top of the show, March is Women's History Month. With that in mind, do you feel the 80 plus year history of the work of groups like WCR have done, has that made an impact on where we are today? And do you feel there are fewer barriers than there were before for women to succeed in real estate?
Absolutely, Christina. Yes, and yes, and yes. Fear barriers because of the work the women have done before us. We have a voice. We are in a position of empowerment. We know that there are no mountain that we cannot climb. I feel we know that we are stronger together. Over 82 years, Women's Council has consistently built business leaders and championed causes, including fair housing, equality, and inclusion. Women's Council takes action to recruit members, leverage our existing members, create leadership development, programming face-to-face events. As women, we know what we put our energy and our time into will grow to success. And that's because of all the women that's put in the work over the 82 years.
So there's always work that needs to be done, though. And so with that in mind, Cindy, what are some of the biggest challenges that women in real estate face today?
Learning to promote, I feel, learning to promote with the evolving technology. Being comfortable doing that, promoting your business on social media platforms, being comfortable with it. I know that Women's Council has done that for me. I'm a prodigy child of Zoom. I say that because they really did, take us to the Zoom format and educate us on how to do Zoom and help us be comfortable with the videos and public speaking and all the, promoting yourself. Women's Council has really done a great job helping us with that. I feel another challenge would be balancing our careers and our business and personal, not to have to choose between either or. I know the younger generation, they look up to us, they talk to us about, it's hard doing both. So with that said, I feel that there's a challenge. I feel that we have some great speakers. I like to do a shout out with Kathy Hashmat. She has an excellent program that she speaks on, and she's our district vice president. Maybe one day she'll share it with me, and I can share it with others. But just really to help that help women in being able to have both. I have another challenge would be not enough membership available. Excuse me, not membership. That came out wrong. Mentorship. There you go. Mentorship. Within the brokerages or within your business. I can say that because that's what Women's Council does the best. I mean, that's what we're all about, is a mentorship. Being able to reach out, surround yourself with positive and like-minded professionals that will support you when you pick up the phone. So another challenge I feel for challenge is leadership roles in our industry by finding our niche. I think that's really important. We learned that. That was something that we really talked about in TRLP. Our voice, knowing what we're good at and growing on that and expanding on that and do what we enjoy. Never stop learning and always ask for opportunities.
Yeah. Very good. Thank you.
Women's Council, for me, I feel that's what they do best.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing that. Just mentioning some of the comments we have coming in. Teresa Hill said WCR equals leaders made here. We have Claudia Gayton who said she is tuning in from El Paso, Texas this morning. So definitely have support from around the state here with Women's Council. If you have questions for Cindy about WCR, please type those into the comments and we will get to those questions in just a little bit. Cindy, if you could share with us some current initiatives, what are some things that WCR is currently working on?
Well, after coming back from the Texas Realtor meetings in Austin, our 22 networks, they are empowered. They are in full swing, bringing value to their members. They're holding monthly membership and events. We should have them on the chat to add their calendar. This month, on March 22nd, is Realtor Day at the Capitol. And I know that our membership, we're loading the buses and we're ready to go. I know that I'm leaving out of Katy, the cool bus. I just say that. That I'm excited because I know it's full. Women's Council, we are right now, Texas, we're collaborating in April for the next 3-year strategic plan for Women's Council Texas that will move us forth for our best support for our membership. Super exciting. To be working on that. Women's Council Texas membership are united and geared up to attend the NAR meetings that will be May 6th through the 11th in Washington, D.C. The registration is open for that, and we're all excited. One of our best benefits, I would say, being a Women's Council member is getting to go on cool trips together. Join Women's Council Realtors for a fun and educational cruise that will be leaving Galveston and going to Cozumel on the Royal Caribbean Voyage this sea. That's coming in October, 16th through the 21st. So it's super exciting where it's going to be fun and educational, preparing our leaders for 2024 with our incoming president. I would like to take a moment to say hello to our state president that is on. I'd like to acknowledge her. That is Claudia Gayton from El Paso.
Yeah, of course. So you mentioned some of these different initiatives that are coming up, different trips that are taking place. Obviously, the networking, the mentorship, all of that ties into it. We have people tuning in from different parts of town. We have Fort Bend, people tuning in from Katy, all different areas. So tell us a little bit about the chapters around the Houston area. I know you mentioned there's over 20 around the state of Texas, but in the Houston area, what chapters are available for people to look into? And just if you could share a little bit more of the benefits of joining WCR and how people can get involved.
Okay, so we have 6 networks in the surrounding Houston areas. I like to do a little bit of a shout out to the presidents when we go through. just to say, the best way to reach out is to go to one of their events, attend, and connect with them. You can also go to wcr.org, and that is our national website, and you can join there as well. And then it talks about what the national is doing too. So for to start off, I'll start off with Montgomery just because they're north and their March event. Actually, I would like to go ahead and mention that all six are doing a collaboration event at the rodeo. This is March the 5th. It's a membership only benefit for being a member. They're bringing their membership to the rodeo together, six networks in collaboration on March the 5th. And our state president, Claudia Gayton, will be attending. She's coming in from El Paso to Houston to attend. So they're super excited. And that fact that they're all doing this together is wonderful. Shows unity and strength within the networks. Mm-hmm. So Montgomery County, they're highlighting their mayor and superintendent speaking on the 9th. I think I attached their flyer. Lake Houston promoting Realtor Day. That would be Lauren Price. Montgomery County is their president is Lori Witherspoon, and then Lake Houston is Lauren Price, and then Houston Network. They're taking the lead on this March 15th collaboration at Mixer at the Rodeo. They do have other things planned for April, March, and May. Mm-hmm. And that is Lisa Urestes. And then we have Bay Area Houston, which is Christy Wright. Mm-hmm. And they have Micah Allen Johnson, a fellow WCR member, coming to speak in April. Mm-hmm. Apparently, they're super excited. They're coming to a past president luncheon. This speaker is very impactful. They'll be offering 1 hour CE. Greater Northwest, they will be doing, that is Tracy Dillon, that's the president at Greater Northwest Network. They will be doing a new membership orientation this month, the 23rd, for their membership, and a membership drive. Greater West Houston will be also, they will have a class on contracts the end of March, the 22nd. Fort Bend, they have a busy March. They have March 7th. That would be diverse panel discussion, and 23rd, building your brand with Camille Percy Branding, which I've been to one of her presentations. She's awesome. And they'll be part of the rodeo. So we got Fort Bend, which is Rhonda Dilbo. And then we have for Greater West Houston, Adriana Pacina. So I just wanted to do a shout out to those presidents. Mm-hmm. They're the feet on the ground. They're the ones that are there and doing an amazing job. And they're in high gear and they're excited to be in Women's Council. We have great leadership.
Great. It sounds like there's just so much going on. People are adding into the comments as well. I just saw something. Greater West Houston has, they've moved their contract CE class to March 29th, so that's a little later this month. If you could, Cindy, we had a couple questions come up first, if clarification, Joy said, could you clarify the date of the night at the rodeo?
That is March 15th.
Okay, very good. Britt had a question about the fees associated with joining. So could you tell us a little bit about the fees?
Yes. So to be a Realtor member or a National Associate member, you have to belong to the NAR. You have to belong to the NAR in your association, and then the fees for national at $140, and then we have a state fee of $35, and then we have a local fee, but it's all combined. So when you go to the website to check out, which I would be happy, or any one of the leadership team would be happy to walk them through. It does vary according to network. The national fee is the same. The state fee will stay the same, but the local networks fees are a little bit different. So anywhere between 180 to 100 Women's Council fee for a year.
Okay, very good.
So
Thank
you
you.
have to go through all to click out to make sure that you register properly.
All right.
There's steps.
So great question just came in from Adriana. She said, "Why did you join Women's Council, Cindy? What is your why?"
Why? Well, I joined, actually, it was Houston Network, and they asked me to go to a fashion show. I was actually doing my own luncheon, and the president asked me to join. So I went, and I thought, well, this is great fashion show. It was educational. I connected with a lot of people, but then I realized it was Greater West Houston Network out where I lived. And then I went over there and I met even more people. And then I thought, well, it's just time to really get to know and connect. And that's the whole key, is getting involved. And my mission was to get involved. I felt like where I was at in my business, it was time to grow and to connect with others. And that's exactly what happened from day one. So it's been a journey and it's been wonderful. It's like a sisterhood. I mean, really, that is what it is. And as much as you put forward is what you get so much more back. But just going to the meetings isn't the same. I really encourage getting in. And my why was to serve others. I mean, I have passion to do that. So
Love that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And
Mhm.
thank you, Adriana, for asking that question as well. A few more questions that came in. Again, some clarification. Is the March 15th event for Women's Council members only?
That would be a question to ask the local presidents that I did a shout out to. But from what I can tell, I've been invited. I will be attending, but it is membership only event for this one. And they do that from time to time to really focus on their membership and give back to them. So,
Okay. Great. And it looks like we did have a response to that I didn't see. Gabrielle Allen said, yes, it is. So thank you, Gabrielle, for helping out there. So a few other questions here. Rosie asked, does WCR engage in volunteering in their respective communities? So the local chapters, do they ever do volunteer, initiatives or volunteer efforts in the local communities?
yes, ma'am. I mean, that's our mission. We are leaders in our local communities. So each network, they're our soldiers on the ground, and they work with their partners and other organizations throughout the year to partner together to bring, to educate and to connect people and to do what is needed in the community. And that's something that the leadership teams work together on at the beginning of the year when they're planning their year. So community involvement is important. I mean, we like to hold our meetings in our community areas and where we have our support. I could just mention a few if I want to do some shout outs, but Johnson Development, Howard Hughes. I mean, there's just so many great communities that we go into and we support.
Excellent. Another question here. Patricia said, what chapter would be best for me? I live in Seabrook.
Seabrook, that would be Bay Area, Houston. That's a wonderful network. That's Christy Wright is the president. And I believe her calendar should be in the chat, but if you reach out to me, I'll be happy to connect you to.
Okay, very good. Just a comment that came in from Peggy Pentecost. She said, we offer a membership program for our members who are interested in excelling in leadership and would invite members to contact the president for information about how to participate in that fabulous opportunity to work with past state presidents as your mentor. So excellent. Thank you so much, Peggy, for sharing that. Not seeing any other questions at this time, but if you have more questions for Cindy, go ahead and type those in and we will get into them. Cindy, you've shared a lot of great information, a lot of shout outs to the local chapters and the local chapter leadership, and of course, you as well as others in the state leadership. Is there anything else that you want to share with our audience today about WCR?
I would like to share the number one reason to join Women's Council is is membership to member referral. And that's what we work. We work off referrals. And I can tell you that is, our branding and just being on the other side of transaction with Women's Council, that the job is, the clients are being taken care of, and just the job gets done well. So I would say that's the number one reason, but the average, the second reason would be Women's Council earns more money. The average income from real estate is at $134,470 for realtors. Average transaction volume of a Women Council member is 8.5 million. Average commission that come in from council member to member referrals is about 15,000. 70% of members agree that the result of involvement in Women's Council has become a stronger leader and developed advanced leadership skills for their business, community, and personal life. Members who report being leaders for the local communities are very, happy being a Women's Council member. Women's Council is proudly invest into the industry. Our PAC is the highest in realtor family. Tree PAC, the President's Circle, and major investors. Those are just some member counts, Women's Council benefits.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. As I mentioned at the top of the show, today's Member Focus Monday and this week's HAR on the Move podcast are sponsored by Tom Ferry Edge, which is coming to Houston March 13th through 15th. They did send over a very short video that we're going to play now for you to learn a little bit more about it, and then we can also share the link to their website in the comments. So let's take a quick look at their video.
There's no wrong way to generate business in real estate, but there are lots of ways of going about it. Get the skills, get the tactics, get the plan at Edge. You want to have a strong marketing background, strong prospecting background, so that you are just an unstoppable force in terms of developing business in your local marketplace. Sales and marketing edge together is the perfect blend. So you can pick and choose what's going to be made a part of your business at Edge.
So thank you again to Tom Ferry Edge for sponsoring this week's program. Of course, we did share their link in the comments to learn more about that session and sign up for it. And I believe they have some early bird pricing going on right now as well that you could look into. Just wanted to share a couple comments that came in while we were watching that video. Joanne Stevens just mentioned that her business is made up of about 75% of referrals from across the country. So yes, those statistics you were sharing about referrals, Joanne is living proof there of that. And another comment came in from Britt. She just said she's signing up today. Thank you so much, Christina and Cindy, for spreading the word about such an amazing organization. She's excited to get involved. So excellent. Thank you, Britt. And I did want to mention, because I had a few comments that I was seeing about local chapters needing volunteers. So I just wanted to ask the question, do you need to be a member to be a volunteer? Are they one and the same, or is that a different thing?
No. There's many opportunities nationally, state, and local for volunteers. And that's the best way to get involved, is to attend or reach out to your local network and get involved. And joining membership is the benefit, but that's the key, is getting involved. You don't know. You don't know until you do. So Step out, and that's what it's all about.
Excellent. Well, Cindy, again, thank you so much for all the great information you shared today. And thank you for taking time as we kick off Women's History Month. What better way than with WCR? So we really appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
That is it for this Member Focus Monday. I do want to announce that next Monday we will not have a Member Focus Monday, but we will be back March 20th. And we are going to be talking all about leases, tenants, landlords, issues, and everything in between. So be sure to tune in for that one the following Monday. Again, Cindy, thank you again for your time today, and thank you for everybody who tuned in. to celebrate the beginning of Women's History Month with us. Yeah. So that is it for this Member Focus Monday. I hope you all have a great week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.